Hello guys, welcome back. Doing another race here today, qualifying third on a slightly worse time than I was hoping for when I went in qualifying. Sorry for all the noise. I was trying to close my door but realized there's stuff in front of it and now I can't close it. So anyway, so I'm a bit behind where I was hoping to start. I was hoping to start near the front row, but starting third instead with a 1:35.1. I believe, yeah, right there, 1:35.1. Hoping for a really high 34, but couldn't pull it off in qualifying. So here we go. We'll try the 1:35 with an excellent start. Wow, a very excellent start. And we'll lead the field in a 1. Alright. So I did a ton more practice on this track after my first race, which I didn't record, but it was so pitiful that I wouldn't have wanted to post it anyway. I know the two dudes behind me who qualified first and second are much faster. They qualified 1:34s, where I was hoping to be, but a lot quicker in the 1:34s, so I'll expect them to pass me soon enough, but let's see if we can lead this first lap, huh? That'd be fun. So, yeah, RUFs at Phillip Island. I've never been good at Phillip Island until I watched Empty Box's strategy on his recent video, which I was spectating live. But for some reason I didn't understand what I was seeing while I was spectating live, but once I watched the video, I was like, oh my god, those are all the things I'm doing wrong! So, we're much quicker now than we were in the first race that we did, which again will not be posted because way too embarrassing a few days ago. I've adopted his short shifting right here. I liked that, but that one was sloppy. I didn't like that. The RUF C-Spec is pretty sloppy on cold tires. But will we lead the first lap? Oh!
Car on your left.
Yes, we will.
Still there. Hold your line.
So look at that. We led a lap in the RUF race.
Keep to the right. Clear.
But I absolutely expected these guys to come by me. They are much faster. They qualified much faster.
Left side. Clear on the left.
So yeah, that's not really disappointing to me. I'm really expecting to finish where I started, which is third, because I know these guys are probably going to come flying around me. But that's not to say I'm not going to try and hold them off. I'll definitely do my best to hold them off unless I get run over, which was very... Whoa, Jesus Christ. This guy wants that second position, and I'll let him have it at this rate.
Clear on the left.
Until I do that. Like I said, this car is insanely sloppy on cold tires, and I have no idea why. It just drives completely differently when these tires warm up, and I've been having trouble on cold tires with this car since day 1. So now that all tires are torched, so we'll try and fix our mistake and rally back. Looks like the guy in front of me spun, so at least we'll have a better shot at getting that position back. But wow, that was a disappointing spin. It just didn't feel like it was going around until it went around, and then I tried to 2-foot mash save hacks it, and it didn't work. But whatever, you win some, you lose some. I definitely am not out of position yet, especially if mistakes are made up front. I'm do a lot worse when I'm commentating, so that is also something to remember for myself. Is that the concentration split between thinking about what you want to say and hitting all your apexes is very, very hard for me right now as a new live commentator to the scene. But that will definitely improve over time, as we've seen with everyone who's ever done it before. But I want that position back, man. I want to finish where I started. Let's do this.
Good thanks, Shane. Thanks, Shane. Got the wrong bloody setup in it.
So, I'm not sure if I'm going to catch him anytime soon. He does look a little quick, which is a little worrying. I don't want to finish under where I started, especially when I qualified third. That's a pretty decent qualify, honestly, for as slow as I usually am, you know? I'm only a second off normal pace, and why is this car so sloppy right now? I have no clue. It's just not hooked up like it used to be. Maybe it's just I drilled it all night last night, and now that I'm completely fresh tonight, haven't done any practice tonight, it just feels a little strange. I don't know, but it was completely hooked up when I was practicing last night, and now it's just a little all over the place. So that's a bit worrying. I'm hoping I don't end my race myself, which is very likely. I've done it so many times in the past. So rather than catching him, I'm going to concentrate on holding my position for now. Letting the car hook up for a bit, just in case. Ugh. Big lockup right there, holy moly. But it did allow us to gain some time, which is not good because all I want to do is take it easy right now, because the car is a little squirrely. I just want to pull away from that 5th place car, and then when we're getting closer to the end of the race, I want to run down this 4th place dude, because he's a pretty bad dude. This is a 10:45 at night race, so the competition is not very numerous. I think there's about 11 people, maybe 12. I think the reason you short shift there is because the car gets really squirrely. But for me, it's just getting squirrely everywhere. But maybe I'm just pushing too hard because I have a car in front of me. Who knows? I mean, I am running roughly what I was in practice. I guess I am just pushing too hard because I see someone in front of me. I just kind of noticed that. I'm running pretty much pace with what I was warming up with last night. But I'm going to try and take a bit of a quicker line through here and get a little less loose. Go for the speed off the corner more than the speed into it. Maybe that'll help me grab this dude into the hairpin some point, if we catch him at all. Good thing we didn't lock up into that one. That would have been really bad because we were coming in hot that time. We do definitely beat him in the braking there, and that's something to remember. A lot of racing comes from just identifying your opponent. Instead of, you know, pushing as hard as you can to pass them, you should definitely just scout them out for a few laps, figure out where you're better and capitalize on that. I know I'm not one to be giving advice with a sub 2000 iRating, but you know, every little bit of advice counts. Looks like the 2nd place dude went a little crazy. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better short shifting right there. Really hooked the car up around that last corner. Oh! That's my worst corner, guys. That last corner. That really long bending corner. I just always take it just a little too without f***ing doing that.
Left side. Clear. Car right. Stay on the left. Keep to the left. Clear on the right.
Hey guys, Fraps cut out, and I couldn't find a convenient place to restart it. And when I did restart it, I went off track, and that's where the dude behind me got all his time back. But we're still in the position here, and hopefully we'll keep it. I'm getting a little too far wide on that corner, and that's actually where I went off trying to restart Fraps. So looks like the dude behind me went off doing what I did. So yeah, it was frustrating, and I cut it out because I did a lot of swearing and banging on my wheel and throwing a temper tantrum. But yeah, so just live commentary is really hard for me, guys, right now, and it's something I'm gonna have to try and learn to deal with better. But it's really killing me at the moment, and the only reason I'm doing it is because practice makes perfect, of course. Practice makes perfect, of course. And I wanna do live commentary. It's fun, and people like to watch live commentary. People like to know what's going through your head as you're driving this car around the track. So that's why everyone who does live commentary is so popular, because everyone who does live commentary has some insight into their driving that everyone wants to know about. Just listening to what's going on through someone's head while they're flooring a car 140 miles an hour around a bend, it's really cool to listen to. So I want to get better at it, but when Fraps cuts out like that and then I go off track trying to restart it, just a little discouraging on the whole live commentary thing, because I know that it takes practice, but it sucks to have to suck this bad trying to get to that point. So I'm gonna head back to hugging that curb through that turn, just so that I don't have to go off there anymore, because when you go off there you lose a ton of time. I'm talking like at least 8 seconds if you're lucky, because once you're in that grass, it's going to do one of two things to your car. It's going to pull you further into the grass, you're not going to have any steering, or it's going to spin you straight around. And both of those are going to cost you just loads of time. But I keep seeing dust coming from these dudes up ahead, and I guess they're just pushing hard or something. I just wish one of them would go off track eventually, because I want my position back. But I'll settle for 4th. I'm car number 8, which means I'm the 8th lowest, or 8th highest iRating, I guess, in the race, which means I'll actually get something if I finish 4th, but I mean, who doesn't want to finish well? Let's be honest. Aside from the dudes who join a race and say, "Oh, I'm just in this for safety rating." But everyone in front of me is just a little too quick for me, and that's unfortunate.
1 minute 30.
I'll settle for 4th. At least I got that awesome start and led 1 lap. I was pretty proud of that, so whatever. You know, you
got a slow car on the right.
Just as I say that, we have a spinner. It looks to be the 3rd place car, which will give me my position back if I don't floor it into the grass. Now it's time to haul ass as far away as I can from him, because I know he's quicker, and giving him a gap to try and catch me, well, that's what I need. Let's see how many minutes we have. Oh, wow, we're pretty close into the end of the race here. I didn't know that. Only about 10 minutes to go. If we can outrun this dude, we weren't losing too much on him through the race, and if I push a little harder than usual, within my skill level, of course, I don't want to run out of talent on one of these turns. Like I said, it'll either pull you further into the grass or spin you immediately, so. We do not want to make a catastrophic mistake right now, because that catastrophic mistake will lead to catastrophe. Haha, get it? Catastrophe? Catastrophic mistakes of catastrophe-ness? 5 seconds, so he'll have to make up. I'll have to make up quite a bit of ground per lap in order to to pass us by the end, and hopefully, whoa, hopefully I don't facilitate that gain by the car feeling all wacky. I might, I did test the car on a separate track last night after I was done here, and come to think of it, I probably didn't reload my Phillip Island setup, which might be why it's so squirrely for me right now. That's actually, I think that's probably exactly it, because I didn't switch setups before this race, and I know I did practice on a track last night. But we're maintaining it. Oh, hold on a second. I just looked at the relative, and it seems that the fourth place guy has just dropped off the radar, and we have a 15-second gap, which means they would have to gain more than a second a lap in order to pass me. They would have to gain more than a second a lap and pass me by the end of the race to regain this position, or I would have to really fuck up, which is very possible, because this car is poorly set up right now. But, alright, it's time to take it easy. Look at that, we're pulling away big time. Might need to shift, though. Ooh, alright. So it looks like he might have caused a wreck of some sort. Oh, and then just disconnected. So that's not really cool, but I mean, at least it's a decent apology. It's a sorry. It's an acknowledgement. I wouldn't really appreciate it if it were me who got wrecked by that and only received that as a reply, but whatever, to each their own. If he felt that was sufficient. It looks like we're gaining tons of time on these dudes behind us, so I am taking it decently easy now as well. So I'm going to say we're going to finish back where we started, folks, and that is exciting. Australian circuits have always been a bit of a challenge for me for some reason. Phillip Island is mainly a challenge because constant speed turns are a little challenging for me. Because I just, you know, I either enter them too hot because constant speed turns always look different to me every time I do it another lap, or I enter them too slow and come on, keep it together. You know how to do this. Or I enter them too slow and just lose a ton of time through them. But, yeah, like that. Like those constant speed corners, like that last one right there. I call them constant speed corners. Pretty much corners where you just have to balance the grip with the throttle and make sure you have just enough speed to hold on to your line, and at the same time that you're on pace. And those corners are hard for me because they always look different every time I enter them. So sometimes I'll brake more and sometimes I won't brake enough. 9 times out of 10, however, it's I won't brake enough. And you know what? I'll probably include my rage after my fraps died. It died for like a split second and I reached over to restart it because it was a convenient time and just came off track, so I might include my fraps rage just to show you guys an example of how I just misjudge these corners all the time. But I saw the leaders up there going around the front straightaway. Alright, there we are. 5-ish minutes remaining. Oh yeah, there we go. That's how it's done right there. I'm not sure why I'm unable to get 35s like I was in my practice. I showed you guys I got a 135.1. So it's definitely, I'm definitely capable. I don't know, maybe it's, like I said, the lack of practice tonight. Because I did all my practice last night, went to bed, worked all day, then came home, and this is the first time I've signed on to iRacing all day, so it's probably just me being a bit rusty from last night, knowing the line but forgetting how to execute. Bit of wheel hop coming into that one. That was a bit worrying. But I really don't think we have to worry anymore, because these dudes would have to make up so much time right now. They would have to make up multiple seconds a lap at this point. Even if I spun, I could probably save the position, depending on the spin and the severity. But I'd say, yeah, I'd feel pretty confident spinning and being able to keep my position. The only problem is I wouldn't feel confident spinning. But I think this race we only have 2 incidents, so that's pretty good so far. 2 off tracks, 1 for that beginning of the race. Yeah, see, now the car's starting to feel hooked up on me. That's a shame. But 1 for that beginning incident where I just about lost it completely. And there you go, guys, the 135. Told you, the car needs to hook up, and it's maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just adapting to my crap setup right now, but it's just the C-spec is very, very rough on cold tires. I get it, very rough on cold tires. Okay, fine, I'll save you the puns. Whoa! I downshifted way too quick by accident, and then tried to lock him up to save it. Almost cost me a big chunk of time, and almost my race maybe. But always learn when to get off those brakes. When you're locking up and not losing that speed, get off them brakes. It's not a natural reflex for most people. It's pretty interesting to watch untrained like civilians in the snow, civilians, as if we're different than civilians, but like normal drivers who haven't had racing or even sim racing experience, like my parents and my sister, will all when they need to stop in the snow, they'll hit the brakes, and then they'll start sliding, and they'll hit the brakes harder because they're not stopping. And it's just, we've been conditioned to use the brake to stop. That when we're not stopping, the problem is obviously that we're not applying enough brake. When the problem is actually that we are applying too much and the wheels are acting like skis instead of brakes. And then we just go sliding into something. And if I gotta say anything, I gotta say iRacing has helped me with my snow driving. Not that that's a pun at the whole ice racing thing, but it's true. Like, iRacing's really slippery physics. If they're unrealistic or not, I don't know. But it's agreeable that they're slippery. But they've definitely helped me in the snow and ice conditions. I posted a video on the forums that admittedly got a little heat, which I didn't really appreciate, because a lot of people don't realize what wide-angle lenses don't pick up, you know. But anyway, I was driving along, and all of a sudden the rear of my car steps out on me, and I literally held the rear of the car out there for a good, I don't know, 20 feet. Of course, like, it wasn't, oh, I'm going to do a sick drift now. It was a, okay, I got this. And I juggled the throttle and steering and everything, and just kept the car going in the right direction. And I definitely give credit to my sim racing for that. Same with, you know, being able to take my car out and just coming out of a parking lot or something, just floor it onto the road, get that back end flying out, have some fun, and just correct it. I attribute that to my knowledge of how cars react under those conditions through sim racing. And I think it's I think it should be mandatory that everyone has to do at least like maybe 20 laps in a full-fledged simulator. Even just with a G27 hooked to your desk like I have, which I won't soon. I'll get to that in a second. Hopefully I'll have enough time. Even with a G27 hooked to a desk though, you can learn a lot from car behavior and sliding and all of that. So the whoops, downshifted too much. About the wheel thing, and maybe I'll touch on this more in a future video since we're coming to the end of this race, but look at that, guys. A third place finish. We finished right where we started. That is what I'm talking about. That is iRacing. Oh, and I do that, of course. Oh, 4 incidents this race. Oh well. 5 laps of fuel, better shake the car. Those of you who have seen my radical video will be laughing at me because of that.
Great job, you did really well.
But yeah, that last off track was a bit disappointing, but screw it. I always suck at that turn anyway, so it's not that surprising to me that I would go off track there at the end. Anyway, fun race. Real quick about the wheel. I have a G27 with G27 pedals, and I also have a Fanatic Porsche wheel in the corner of my room that I bought a long time ago, but don't use because when it hooks up to the G27 pedals, they just spike all over. Like, they literally like just flicker back and forth. If you're applying the throttle. Yes. No way, does someone actually recognize me? That would be interesting. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the pedals just spike. You could be applying 50% throttle, and every millisecond it would go between like 70 to 34 to 90 to 63, you know, stuff like that. So, I couldn't use the pedals, and unfortunately the only solution is to buy a Bodner cable, which is $70 frickin'. But I did. Got a Bodner cable, so I'll be using my Fanatic wheel. Oh, is that the pit entrance? No way. Holy crap, is it really? I don't think so. Yep, it must have been. Well, oh well. So I'll be using my Fanatic Porsche wheel as soon as that arrives, which should be in 3 days. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something that I had to say or something. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one. Other than that, I guess I got nothing else to say. I guess you'll have to wait and see if I include my off-track rage. Alright guys, thank you for watching and take care. Hey guys, in case anyone wanted to see it from an external view, here is that race start. So hope you guys enjoy it.